Hello guys. Hello guys.
Hi everyone, can you hear us? Kindly confirm in the comment section whether you can hear us.
Hello guys. So I think we're good to go. So the reason why we decided to do this webinar is basically to take you guys through the app itself so that you guys can be able to navigate the app. So I'm going to start. I'm going to request you guys, if you have the app, please open your app because I'm going to be illustrating using the app. So just open the app and yeah, so open the app, guys. Just to confirm, can you guys hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you.
Perfect. So I hope everyone has opened the app. So I'm going to start from the left side. That's the community section. So basically, when you look at the description of Hisa is a community-based investment platform. So basically, we want to provide a platform where you can invest with the help of other community members, basically other investors. So the community section is basically like a social media platforms or something. I'm a social media segment. This is where basically you can communicate and talk to other investors. So you'll see some of my posts there. I actually post a lot there. So basically, this is a point, this is a section to interact with other investors. So it's like Twitter, basically, Twitter for investors, basically. So there isn't much to talk about the community section. So something you can post there is, let's say when you get your dividends, you can just take a screenshot of your dividends and post that I've just received my dividends. Basically, it's a section to interact with other investors. Okay. If you want to type anything, just click on the I think that color should be purple. I think the purple button with sort of like an that looks like a message sign. So that's where you click when you want to type. And then let's go to the next button, which is podcast. Uh, when you click on this podcast, you'll be able to access any any podcast available on our platform. So we'll give you a few recommendations of podcasts you can listen to so that you can be able to be up to date with what's happening in the markets. Yeah. So I hope everyone is there on the podcast section. Sawa. So that's podcast community. I think we don't have a lot of issues there because most guys don't focus on that. So let's go to the main segment, which is invest. So when you want to buy shares, you will click on the invest button, right? So when you click on the invest button, you'll see several options for you. So let's say you want to buy Kenyan shares, you'll see Kenyan stocks. For person who wants to buy US stocks, you'll see US stocks. For person who wants to buy US ETFs, you'll see US ETFs. And then for a person who wants to open a new CDS account, you can click on CDSC, right? So I think I want to put a lot of emphasis on this specific section because this is where most users interact with the invest button and the wallet button. So I hope everyone is on the invest button. Don't worry, we'll have questions at the end of the webinar. So don't worry, if you don't understand anything, you can ask questions on the same. Okay, so click on Kenyan stocks. So when you click on Kenyan stocks, I hope everyone has clicked on Kenyan stocks. You'll be able to see various categories of stocks. So, or when you click on Kenyan stocks, you can see the all stocks. You can choose to look at all stocks. You can see the penny stocks. These are stocks trading below 100 Kenyan shillings. You can see the dividend stocks. And when you click on categories, you can see more categories. So can everyone click on categories? So you can see penny stocks, you can see dividend stocks, you can see value stocks, you can see growth stocks, right? So all stocks is basically all the 63 stocks listed in the Securities Exchange. Penny stocks, as I've said, these are stocks going below, let's say 100 bob, or let's say 200 bob, just to be more precise. So 200 bob. And then for dividend stocks, these are some stocks which have consistently offered dividends in the Kenyan market. So you can see some examples such as EABL, British American Tobacco, ILM Fahari. And then for value stocks, you can see value stocks, you can also see growth stocks. So for value stocks are basically stocks that are trading below. So basically the characteristics of value stocks, these are stocks with low P ratios and low PB ratios. So for value stocks, these are stocks you're buying in the hope that with time the market is going to catch up with the realistic valuation of these stocks. This is different from growth stocks. Growth stocks are stocks that are trading at very high P ratios and very high PB ratios. So growth stocks are stocks that are basically sort of moving or growing at a higher rate compared to the general market. So that's the difference between growth stocks and value stocks. So value stocks are a simple definition of value stocks would be stocks that are sort of undervalued in the market, and these are stocks you want to buy and hold for the long term. On the other hand, growth stocks, these are stocks that are growing at a very high rate, or basically compared to the market average. Okay, so that's it on Kenyan stocks. Let's go to US stocks. So you can click on the back arrow. Okay, I think I forgot to mention something on Kenyan stocks. I hope everyone is on the Kenyan stocks, Bado. So on the Kenyan stocks, you can see the movers, you can also see the gainers, you can also see the losers. Still on Kenyan stocks, I want you guys to scroll down on the Kenyan stocks button. After clicking on Kenyan stocks, just scroll down and you guys will be able to see the most traded on Hisa, or rather the kind of stocks that most guys are buying on Hisa. So I can see most guys on Hisa are buying Kenya Power, and you can also see the various sectors in the market: the agricultural sector, banking sector, manufacturing and allied sector. You can also see the indices. Oh, and for indices, these are basically benchmarks that are used to sort of gauge how the entire market is performing. You can also see how the indexes are performing. So we have the NSE 20 share index, we have the NSE 25 share index, we have the NSE all share index. So that's on the Kenyan stocks. And at the top, you can see your holdings for Kenyan stocks, the value of your holdings for Kenyan stocks on the blue button at the top. Okay. So let's go back to the invest button where you can see Kenyan stocks, US stocks, US ETFs. And don't worry, guys, I'll talk about the portfolio at the top because it's going to take quite a long time to talk about it. I want to put it last before going to news and wallets. So let's click on US stocks. So for US stocks, the same thing. You'll be able to see various categories. So you can click on categories. So for all stocks, you can see all the stocks that we have. I think there are over 3,000 stocks, US stocks. So we have all stocks, all the stocks. Then we have the growth stocks. And remember, guys, I've told you the definition of growth stocks. And we also have value stocks. So the difference between growth stocks and value stocks are basically stocks that are growing at a higher rate than the market. Value stocks are stocks that are growing at a lower rate compared to the market. These are stocks that would be considered undervalued. Then you have dividend stocks. Then we have Buffett's favorites. These are stocks that Warren Buffett has in his portfolio. Then we have blue chip stocks. Blue chip stocks are basically some of the biggest companies in the US. Then we have large cap stocks. These would be stocks that are in the S&P 500 index. Then we have some categories which we are yet to add, but we'll be adding them, which are ESG stocks. So ESG stocks these are stocks that have a lot of focus on environmental, social, and governance. So we have small cap stocks. These are stocks that are basically trading at very low valuations. Penny stocks, I've talked about penny stocks. So penny stocks in the US market, these would be stocks that are trading below 5 USD. Then we have funk stocks. Funk stocks are a category of 5 stocks that are sort of which are tracked together. So that's Facebook, which changed to Meta, Amazon, then you have Apple, then you have Netflix, and you have Google, which is now called Alphabet. So those are called the FANG stocks. Then you have oil stocks. These are companies that are trading, or rather in the oil industry. Then we have casino stocks in the casino industry, NFT stocks, airline stocks, metaverse stocks, cannabis stocks, Chinese stocks, EV stocks, that's electric vehicle stocks, healthcare stocks, bank stocks, biotech stocks, cloud stocks, gold stocks, and artificial intelligence stocks, etc. etc. And finally, for our Muslim brothers and sisters, we have Sharia compliant stocks. So we have sort of some specifics that are provided by the, I mean, to identify Sharia compliant stocks. These are basically companies that are not involved in businesses that are considered haram. So that's on the categories. And the same thing, if you want to buy a US stock, all you have to do is, let's say you want to buy Tesla. You click on all stocks. You can click on all stocks, and then you'll see a search button after clicking on all stocks. And then on the search button, you can type Tesla. You can type the word Tesla, or if you know the ticker symbol of the company, and the ticker symbol is a combination of letters that are used to represent the company. You can just type the ticker symbol. So for the ticker symbol for Tesla is TSLA. So you can just type TSLA. So let's type TSLA. So that's Tesla. Okay, once you click on Tesla, you'll be able to see the option to buy or sell that specific stock. So at the top, you'll be able to see if you own any shares of Tesla. So if you want to buy, let's buy. At the same time, I think you guys can see the charts. So you can see there are two types of charts when you click on Tesla. We have the line chart. So the line chart is not very detailed. And then we have click on the first chart, that's the line chart. You can also click on the second chart, which is the candlestick chart. The candlestick chart. So the candlestick chart is more detailed for the guys who know how to do technical analysis. So let's go back to the line chart. Okay, let me explain what the 1D, 1M, 3M, 1Y, 5Y means. So 1D stands for 1 day. So the every movement in the chart represents the movement, the daily movement. So we have 1 month, 3 months, 1 year, 5 year, and all represents the movement of that stock since its IPO. So you can click on all just to check. So you can see the movement, the stock performance of Tesla since its IPO. So that's for all when you click on all. And it's a good visual description of how the company has been performing since its IPO. Below that, you can see a summary. So here you see Tesla published concerning results on April 24th, 2023. Its growth and income factors performance indicate that the company etc. You can also see the fundamental strength and weaknesses. You can see the period last price, the book value. You can see the fundamental rating breakdown. So you can see the balance sheet is rated 80 over 100. The income statement is rated 49 over 100. The cash flow is rated 56 over 100. And then you can also see the company info. And then finally, you can choose to buy. So let's click on buy. So when you click on buy, you'll see some buttons. So the first button is order type. So let me describe the various order types. So when you select market rate, you're going to buy at the current market rate or the current price, which is $161.83. So that's market rate. When you select buy stop, there's a difference between buy stop and buy limit. When you select buy stop as your order type, this means you want to buy the stock at a higher price than the current price. That's what we mean by buy stop. Buy stop is someone who says, okay, I don't want to buy Tesla right now, but if Tesla manages to go from the current price, which is 161 to 170, I'll buy, because this will prove to me that Tesla has some upside momentum. Or if Tesla manages to go to $200 now, I want to buy this stock. So I'll set a buy stop, and I'll set a buy stop at $200. Okay, on the other hand, for buy limit, this is a person who is like, man, $161 is so expensive for me. I'll buy this stock if it goes to 130 USD. That's the amount I want to get in. So you'll select a buy limit. This is a person who wants to buy the stock on once it goes to a lower price. Okay, that's the difference between a buy stop and a buy limit. Buy stop is someone who is anticipating the stock to go up and buy at a higher price, just as a confirmation that the stock has some upside momentum. For buy limit, this is a person who wants to get the stock at a discount. Okay, I think that should be clear now. Let's talk about the two boxes: set take profit and set stop loss. Let's say you have bought Tesla at the market rate, which is 161.83. What is a set take profit? Set take profit is, okay, I've bought Tesla at 161.83. Okay, so if this stock goes to $200, I'll be like, that's enough profit for me. Let's sell this stock. I don't want to hold Tesla for long. I just want to hold Tesla up to a point of $200. From right now, it's at 161.83. Once it gets to $200, let me just sell my investment and lock in my profits. That's the thing about, you will select set take profit, and you will set your take profit at $200. Okay, so take profit, the thing about take profit is that it automates the sell. So once you set a take profit, once the stock gets to 200, the sell order will be executed automatically. Okay, Stop loss is the opposite of that. So you bought Tesla at 161.83, and I've told you guys over and over again during our webinars, never be attached to a stock. Always have a point of exit. Always have a point where you're like, uh I have to accept my losses. I bought this stock, but it didn't go as expected, so I need to get out. So that's where the stop loss comes in. So you can say that Tesla is good at 161, but if Tesla goes below 100 USD, please let me exit this trade and accept my loss and leave to trade another day. So that's the thing about set stop loss. So the stop loss is meant to minimize your losses. On the other hand, the take profit is meant to lock in your profits. So for a stop loss, you might want to set a stop loss at, let's say, 90 USD. So if Tesla goes to 90 USD, I don't want to hold this stock anymore. So you can set your stop loss at 90 USD. So that's the difference between stop loss and take profit. So the advantage of stop loss is that it automates the trade, so that you avoid a situation where you're holding a stock that was at, let's say, $160 up to a point where the stock has crashed. So a stop loss will really protect you in instances such as the ones we have been seeing of late, where banks are falling. Like, I think you guys can see what happened with First Republic Bank. Yeah. So you can see a stock has fallen like 90%. So you need to have a criteria, and this goes back to the lessons we have been having on investment strategies and basically how to invest. You need to have an exit strategy. So you need to have like a strategy even before buying, like how much loss are you willing to take. So let's say you can say, if a stock goes below 70%, I need to be out. Okay, so that you can avoid losing all your investment, right? I think that's clear so far. I can see your questions, so I'll answer them. So someone is asking, can I select both set take profit and set stop loss? Yes, you can select both. So for, let's say, for Tesla, let's say you want to buy Tesla, you can buy at market rate, that's 161.83, set a stop loss at $100 and set a take profit at $200. Let's go to shares and amount. Okay, so I think this is the point where I mentioned, guys, on Hisa, you can buy a minimum of $5 of US stocks. So you can buy, doesn't matter if you see Tesla is trading at $161. You don't have to spend $161 to buy Tesla shares. You can buy $5 worth of Tesla shares. And I want us to do that right now. So, and the amount, select amount as $5. So what has happened on the other side of shares? As you can see, the shares has the share button, or rather the share segment, has changed from one share to 0.03 shares. So when you spend $5 to buy Tesla shares, you're buying 0.03 worth of Tesla shares. This is what we call fractional shares. So Hisa allows you to buy fractional shares. So when you buy 5 USD, you're buying 0.03 worth of Tesla shares. And that's the thing. So you don't have to like select the shares you want to buy. The system calculates for you. The app calculates for you. So just select the amount you want to spend. Immediately on the other side, on the left side, you'll be able to see the amount you're buying of the shares. Okay. So let's say you want to buy $10. You see, the shares have changed. You're now buying 0.06 shares worth 0.06 shares of Tesla. And another thing I want to mention here, uh the charges. So we only charge 1%. And I think I want you guys to scroll down. After clicking on amount, after selecting amount, scroll down. So you can see I told you guys to select $10. So the order amount is Kenyan shillings 1,402. the transaction charge is only 1%, which is 14 Kenyan shillings. So the order amount is 1402.3, that's 1,402 Kenyan shillings. The transaction charge is 14 shillings. So you're being charged 14 shillings for an order amount of 1,402 Kenyan shillings. Okay. So, and then you see the market, skip that. Please deposit 1,416.32 to your wallet to continue buying. Okay. So, and then you see a button there written deposit. That's if you don't have enough amount to buy the shares. Okay. And then another thing, I think by now you guys understand why we're depositing 1416, but the order amount is 1402. The transaction charge is 1%, which is 14 Kenyan shillings. And then there's a statement you guys can see. The market is closed, but it will open in the next 4 hours, 25 minutes. Okay, so note your trade will be executed once the market opens. So note, guys, you can buy anytime. You can buy anytime, but the trade is executed when the market opens. And at this point, let me mention that the market is usually, the US market as of now is usually opened at 4:30 p.m. East African time, 4:30 p.m. and closed at 11 a.m. East African time, right? On the other hand, the Kenyan market is usually open at 9:31 a.m. Kenyan time and closed at 3 p.m. Kenyan time. Okay, so let me repeat that. US market right now it's opened at 4:30 p.m. East African time and closed at 11 a.m. 11 p.m. East African time. And then that's the 1 hour before midnight. And then for the Kenyan market, the NSE is opened at 9:31 a.m. Kenyan time and closed at 3 p.m. Kenyan time. So it's 1:05 right now in Kenya. So we have 2 hours to go to the close of NSE, and we have around three to four hours to the open of the Kenyan market. And one thing to note about the open of the US market, pardon me. And then one thing to note about the US market, the market right now is being opened at 4:30 because of what we call daylight saving. So daylight saving time makes the market to be pushed 1 hour before. So initially, that's, let's say, January and February, the market used to be opened at 5:30 p.m. and it used to close at midnight. But due to daylight saving, the market is usually opened 1 hour earlier and closes 1 hour earlier. Okay, but note that you can put a trade anytime. So for the payment method, you can use your USD wallet or the Kenyan wallet, and the minimum order is $5. I think that's it for the orders. For the Kenyan one, the order is the same, but for the Kenyan one, we don't have the $5 limit. I think that's the difference between the US one and the Kenyan one. We don't have the $5 limit. So for the Kenyan market, the limit is in the number of shares. Unlike for the US market, where the limit is in the amount, which is $5, for the Kenyan market, the limit is in the number of shares. So you can only buy 100 shares. So if you're buying a stock, let's say like Safaricom, which is trading at 16 Kenyan shillings, you will have to spend 1,600 Kenyan shillings. Okay, so that's why I see most guys going for the penny stocks, because you'll find a stock like Uchumi going at 0.33. So 0.33 times 100, that's 33 bob. So you only need 33 bob to buy Uchumi shares. Okay, that's the difference between the two markets. Okay. So we've talked about US stocks, we've talked about Kenyan stocks. Let's go to US ETFs. So click on the US ETFs button under the invest. So the US, what are ETFs? ETFs are basically a basket of stocks or commodities or assets, right? So when I talk about an ETF is basically a situation where we take, let's take like 5 stocks. We take Tesla, we take Apple, we take Microsoft, we take Sophie, we take AMD, and put them together and form a fund. Okay. And then when you buy shares, you buy the shares of that one fund. That's an ETF. That's a basic description of an ETF. Okay. So the advantage of investing in ETFs is that you get the advantage of diversification. You can be able to diversify among very many stocks. And when you talk about ETFs, you can be able to invest in, let's say, an ETF that holds like 500 companies or even 1,000 companies, right? Or even 100 companies. And then another advantage of ETFs is that various ETFs have different investment strategies. So we have like super dividend ETFs. So if you're investing for dividends and you don't know which individual stocks you'd want to select, you'd want to invest in a fund or an ETF that holds super dividend stocks. Also, we have ETFs that track various investment strategies. So, if you want to invest in indexes, you can invest in index ETFs. Okay. If you want, you can also ETFs also allow you to invest in various industries. So, I hope everyone is under US ETFs. So you can see the various categories. First of all, just like the US stocks, you can see the all ETFs. You can see the index funds. You can see just what I have mentioned, the dividend ETF. You can see the Bitcoin ETFs for the guys who love Bitcoin. You can see the FANG ETFs. As I had mentioned, FANG ETFs, we have Facebook, Amazon, Apple, Netflix, and Google. You can see the marijuana ETFs. You can see the oil ETFs. You can see the leverage ETFs. So leverage ETFs are basically ETFs that sort of multiply the returns. So let me explain it simply. So we have the S&P 500 index, right? And then we have the VOO, that's the Vanguard 500 500 ETF. So basically, the Vanguard ETF is looking to have sort of to replicate the returns of the S&P 500. That's minus the expenses, right? So we can have a leverage ETF of the S&P 500. So a leverage ETF, so most leverage ETF will be, let's say, a double leverage ETF or a triple leverage ETF. So if the S&P 500 returns at times one, the double leverage ETF will return at times two. If the S&P 500 ETF returns at times one, the triple leverage ETF will return at times three. So that's the thing about leverage ETFs. So let's click on the categories. So below the categories, you can see the various issuers of ETFs. So the biggest issuer is BlackRock, which is also the biggest asset manager in the world. So we have ETFs issued by BlackRock. This would be the iShares ETFs. We have ETFs issued by State Street. We have ETFs issued by Vanguard. We have ETFs issued by Invesco. We have ETFs issued by ProShares. We have ETFs issued by Charles Schwab. We have ETFs issued by ARK. That's the Cathy Wood. Then we have Wisdom Tree ETFs, Goldman Sachs ETFs, JP Morgan ETFs, and the Multi-Full ETFs, Fidelity ETFs, Vanek ETFs, and the Rafty ETFs. Okay, so let's click on one of the issuers. Click on the BlackRock. Under issuers, click on BlackRock. So you can see all the ETFs issued by BlackRock. So the common ETF, that's the iShares Core S&P 500. Its ticker symbol is IVV. I think you guys can see that, IVV. So IVV, this is an ETF that tracks the S&P 500 ETF index. So this ETF allows you to invest in 500 of the largest companies in the US. So you can see all the ETFs they issue them. I think there are over 300 ETFs issued by BlackRock. You can see the various ETFs, the iShares Core Dividend ETF, the iShares MBS ETF, the iShares 20 plus year Treasury ETF. We have these are ETFs that allow you to invest in the US bonds. We have the iShares Silver Trust, which allows you to invest in silver. We have the iShares Russell 3000 ETF. We have the iShares MSCI Japan ETF, allows you to invest in Japan, in the Japan market. So those are the options you have. And I want you guys to take some time after this webinar, just explore the ETFs. There's so many ETFs there. Some of them you haven't even heard about. So you can just click on all ETFs or click on the issuers. Okay. And when you scroll below, you can see the most traded ETFs on Hisa. So we have the Investcall Triple Q Trust Series, we have the JP Morgan Equity ETF, and then just like the stocks, you can see the various asset classes. So if you want to invest in real estate, you can click on the real estate button and you'll be able to find real estate ETFs. If you want to invest in bonds, that's the US bonds, you can click on the bonds and you'll be able to see US bond ETFs, right? So when it comes to trading, the procedure is the same as for the US stocks. So you just click on either the issuers or the ETFs button and then type the ticker symbol of the ETF you want to trade, or you can just click search the ETF by name. And then when you click, you'll see the same options, buy and sell. And then the charges are the same, 1% per trade for US stocks, and the minimum to invest for ETFs, just like US stocks, is 5 USD. Okay, so that's it on the stocks, on the Kenyan stocks, US stocks, and US ETFs. So I think it's time to go to CDSC. So let me give a brief history of CDSC and why we have the CDSC button. So guys, unlike the US market, for the US market, for you to buy US shares on our platform, the moment you register on our app, then you're good to go. Okay. But for Kenyan stocks, you need to have a CDSC account. So this is because of the Central Depository and Settlement Corporation, which is based acts as the depository for Kenyan shares. Just a quick example for this. You see, the way for a bank, you need to open a bank account for you to basically deposit money in a bank. And the bank account acts as a special identifier, which identifies Anthony has this amount of shares. I mean, Anthony has this amount of money. Anthony, this is the Anthony's account. That's the same thing for Kenyan stocks. So your CDSC account will be your special account, which where the shares you buy are held. Okay. So that's the reason why you need to have a CDS account. Okay. And when you have a CDS account, you'll be receiving statements from CDSC telling you about your holdings, etc., and your activities throughout the month. And that's the reason why you need to have a CDSC account. And I think at this point, it's important to mention how is it possible to buy Kenyan stocks and US stocks on our platform. Hisa is not a broker. Okay, Hisa is a trading app that partnered with brokers. So on the Kenyan side, we partnered with Faida, which is a broker, a local broker, to be able to buy Kenyan stocks. So when you buy stocks, or rather when you open a CDS account on our app, ideally you are opening a CDS account with Faida, and Faida allows you to buy Kenyan stocks on our app. And then on the other hand, for the US market, we partnered with a broker called DriveWell. Okay, so DriveWell, with our partnership with DriveWell allows you to buy US stocks from Kenya. Okay, so let me talk about the Kenyan market now. The CDS button. I hope everyone has click on CDSC, the CDSC button. So for the CDSC button, if you already have a CDS account, right? If you had opened a CDS account before with another broker, and please note, you can have more than one broker. You can have 5 brokers, as many brokers as you want. The only thing that doesn't change is your CDS number. So your CDS number will be the same. Doesn't matter if you're using Faida, doesn't matter if you're using Diane Blair, etc, etc. Your CDS number remains the same. So if you had a CDS number before, you'll just type your CDS number there. I hope everyone has clicked CDSC. So you'll type your CDS number, and after typing your CDS number, you will click connect account. Okay, that's for someone who didn't have a CDS account before. And then for someone who is new, someone who wants to start investing in Kenyan shares and doesn't have a CDS number, a CDS account, that's the point where you get a prompt to open your CDS account. And then for guys who have a CDS account, I think you can see some buttons. So you can see somewhere where you can see your account statements, you can see the option to transfer shares, and then the option to pledge shares. So for now, ignore the two buttons, that's pledge shares and transfer shares. These are a work in progress. Okay, and then under this button, under the CDS button, you can also see your holdings. So you can see the holdings you have in the Kenyan market. And then for the guys, you can also see a history of your transaction. You can also see when you created a new trading account, etc. So this is basically where you can follow up the status of your CDSC account under the CDSC button. And I think, as you guys can see at the top, you guys can see a blue button showing you the value of your Kenyan holdings. That's under CDSC. Okay, and for verification, for your CDS account to be verified, you just need to send the front and back page of your ID. Okay, so I think that's it under CDSC. Let's go to invest. So under the invest button on the top, you can see your name. So my name is Hello Kembati. You can see your image, that's your image. And then you can see the search button, you can see the notification button. And then let's say you have an issue on the app. Okay, if you have an issue on the app, you have an issue, how do you contact customer care? So I think at the bottom, just above the invest button, you can see a blue button which seems like a person wearing headphones, right? When you click on that button will allow you to contact our various guys on our team to help you. So basically, when you click on that, I want everyone to click on that. So you'll see, hi Kembati, how can we help you? Okay, so you can choose to send a message, or you can choose to search for help. So when you search for help, you'll be able to see some articles, some helpful articles too, which you can read. Okay, so that's under the customer care team, or rather the customer care button. Okay, let's go back. Let's go at the top. Let's look at the top where you can see the invest button. So at the top, at the top, you can be able to see the current value of your holdings, the profit and loss in the last 24 hours, and the amount invested. So click on that button. Click on the button at the top, just below your name. So when you click on that button, you'll be able to see your assets. So you can see the amount of Kenyan stocks you hold, the amount of US ETFs that you hold, the amount of US stocks that you hold, and other investments that you have. So you can see your holdings, you can see your dividends. And then when you click on assets, you can see a circle showing you the valuations of your holdings, right? So that's on your portfolio. You can be able to see the value of your portfolio. I think many guys have been asking, where can I see my portfolio? So you just have to click on the blue button at the top on the invest section. So after that, let's go to the news section. So news, this is basically where you get an update of what's happening in the market. So you can see some articles of what has been happening in the market of late. I think I don't want to talk a lot about that. I think that's self-explanatory. You can see regional news, you can see personal finance articles, articles on the markets, articles on cryptocurrency, basically a lot of resources to help you get started. And then let's go to the final segment, which is the wallet. Okay. Okay, someone is asking, just to clarify, do I need to pay any other fee to the brokers in addition to the 1%? No, the 1% is inclusive of everything. So basically, everything you're doing ends at Hisa. So basically, there's no other fee that's paid. So if it's 1%, it's 1%. So it's 1% for Kenyan stocks, it's 1% for US stocks. Okay. So that was a question from Masichem Tai. So we are on the wallet section. So we have three wallets. We have the FIB wallet, and I've told you guys the FIB wallet stands for the Faida Investment Bank. Then we have the uh, the USD wallet. Then we have the default wallet. Okay, so let me explain about these three wallets. So the FIB wallet, the Faida Investment Wallet, this is where you deposit your money when you want to buy Kenyan stocks. Let me emphasize on that. If you want to buy Kenyan stocks, you need to deposit money in your FIB wallet. Okay. On the other hand, we have the USD wallet. This is where you can deposit when you want to buy US stocks. And then we have the default wallet. This is where you put your money when you're not trading, when you're not taking any trade. Okay. So please note up the three wallets. I think the wallet that has been confusing most guys is the FIB wallet. If you want to buy Kenyan stocks, make sure money is in your FIB wallet. Okay. So then we have the options. I think the options are sort of self-explanatory. So we have the deposit option, and the deposit options are many. You can use M-Pesa, you can use your bank. We have withdraw options, we have transfer, we have save. Okay, and then below that you can see all your transactions. Okay, so I think the big emphasis on the wallet was that one for Kenyan stocks. So always remember, if you want to buy Kenyan stocks, have money in your FIB wallet, and you can transfer between the three wallets. Okay. Initially, we only used to have two wallets, but we decided to have three wallets to make it easy for you guys. I think that's it for me. If you have any questions, you can ask. Otherwise, that's it from me. We'll be having this section. We'll be having this session every week on Tuesday, same time, just to talk about the app. We're planning to have a pre-recorded illustration video just to today. I asked you guys to open your app so that we could do it together. So I think I'm thinking of having a pre-recorded illustration video where you guys can see what I'm doing. So we'll have that from next week. So we'll be having this session every week. And then on Thursday, remember, we also have the educational webinar. So our webinar on Thursday will be on portfolio management. I think that's it for me. You guys can ask questions before we call it a day. But I hope you guys have learned a lot about how to use the app. Just type your question on the Q&A section. So it seems as if no one has any questions. So that's it from me. Have an amazing time. Remember to invest, invest, invest. I hope everyone is in our social media groups.
Anthony, there's a question from Mercy.
Okay.
She's asking, what is the default wallet for?
So this is basically where you put your money when you're not trading, the money you're not trading. So you can move your money from the default wallet to the FIB wallet when you want to start trading. Yeah, sawa sawa. So I hope everyone is in our WhatsApp and Telegram group, because I usually send a lot of educational resources on the two groups. If you're not, you can just raise your hand. Or Masichomtai, okay. So Masichomtai, Dennis. So Masi, let me send you the link to the group. Okay, let me. So Masi, I've sent you the link. So Masi, confirm if you've seen the link. Just raise your hand. So perfect. Anyway, that's it for me. Have an amazing day. Don't forget to register for our Thursday's webinar. Gertrude, I think you can end the meeting now. I think that's it.
Okay. Thank you for joining us today. We'll see you on Thursday and next week. Have a blessed week.